So here's your first exercise with a stack STL. Now, in my exercises, I try not to make them really hard, number one. Number two, I usually give you some information just before it that you can use, manipulate, change it for what you need for here, and then go from there. So if you're completely lost, just look up or look at the previous video or something like that. I'm not trying to be crazy about this. Matter of fact, I'm giving you a lot of the code that you find being highlighted right now. And then there is one technical thing. If makefile has a .txt on the end of it, change that to make sure it's not txt for those of you using a Unix-based system. Now, you don't have to, but leave it at that. Number two, although not a built-in function, you're going to create a function that basically is going to display the stack. Keep this function simple. Now again, we're not actually displaying it 0, 1, 2. It'll be the other way around, 2, 1, and 0, and that's okay for now. You know, all you're doing is displaying the information that was in there. Now you're looking at me saying, well, geez, that'll empty at the same time. Probably. So that's okay for now. Think of this as just a debugging tool, but also making sure you just get the damn thing to run. How about that? So that's what you're after in number two. Now you're also going to do a B part, which is tested on both a concrete data type and a student data type. The student already comes with the code that you have, or given, I should say, and make sure that both of them work for that data types. Now that means you're going to have to use a template, or just whatever template functions. So heads up with that. And then tell me what happens to the stack respectfully after these functions are called. This one should be a dead easy one too. So get that all done. This is going to take you a while. I need you to get it done. I want you to run it on your particular system, and if there's any issues or anything else like that, please let me know. But other than that, this is really, really important. Get it done. It is going to take you a little while, and we'll get through some of the cumbersome parts later. Hopefully you won't have any, but you'll never know. So get this done. Hit pause. We'll go over an answer here in a little bit, and we'll go from there. So here's our solution for problem number two and really kind of three. Now, there's two different versions. You're probably wondering, wait a minute, they look almost exactly the same, and I had to double check myself. What is different is being highlighted right now. But also, notice one is the pointer and the other one is the address. Notice they had to be called slightly different as well. Now, I'm giving you both versions only because I've seen both versions online, and again, I'm pushing you guys away from a book because, frankly, books cost money and the web is free, but not always right. But my point is I want to show you both avenues of this. Now, again, all you were doing was displaying the information within a stack and then going from there. So the other interesting item about this here is that the overall templated function that we have to create. Notice I kind of gave you that answer already with the previous one. You just had to adapt it, put it into, you could put it in your driver, you could put it somewhere in there, and then have it work and go from there. But make sure that you're good to go with this, make sure it ran, and then, well, we'll move on from there. So the last part of this is showing you the answers. I want you to really take a look at the code that you're given. Notice a few items, the overall setup of the base object or the custom object student. Notice that a stack works with that custom object and a basic concrete data type that hopefully you got working. So it's really important that you take a look at the big picture of how the code setup is going to be, because that's going to be the standard procedure when it comes to the rest of this course. Is you're going to have a custom object that's going to be thrown into some type of data structure that you're going to use throughout. And again, your custom object is going to have a lot of features in it and material in it that you're going to have to start off with from scratch. It's just the way it is. So what I also want you to do, and there should be a number two there, is add a peek function that looks at the topmost value in the stack and add the function called just before the delete command in our original main. So there might be some trickery about that. See if it gets to work. Now this part I'm not going over an answer with, so I want you just to figure it out, get it done. If you have a real big issue, obviously get a hold of me. But this one, not meant to be super hard. I just want to make sure that's perfectly clear.